Hi, it's Ian from the Postal Hub Podcast.
And Marek from Last Mile Experts.
And we are the Last Mile Prophets. This is the last word on the last mile. Marek, news out of the UK that our friends at InPost are going to invest 100 million
even.
100 million pounds in 10,000 parcel lockers. Currently, InPost has about 1,500 parcel lockers there in the UK.
Pretty much so.
What's going on there? Is Raphael just wanting to splash the cash? He's had the IPO and he said, let's spend the money. Was there something bigger behind this? What were your thoughts, Marek?
First of all, I'm not sure, Ian. It could be a headline grabber because 10,000 sounds pretty good. There's no doubt they're going to do something. I would be absolutely shocked if they're able to get 10,000. Does it say when there? Or is it one of these nebulous open-ended things?
I didn't see a date on it, no.
So my view is, first of all, not in a hurry. 10,000, it took them several years to do that in Poland. The UK's probably more difficult in terms of planning permission. Point one. Point two, if my maths are correct, it means each machine, if it's only for the machines, would be costing £10,000 a pop. That seems quite a lot. So it could involve something else. I don't know. But my view, my gut tells me it's a bit of a headline grab, but there is probably something behind it.
Well, there's also been a few announcements recently with regard to InPost returns, partnering with some more retailers to get the parcels going through those lockers. And I did read, I've got to stop squinting, everybody, I know, that Hermes will be servicing the lockers. That's not much of a surprise, is it, Marek?
That's no surprise at all. And this is the big game changer, I believe, for them, that they've got a strong nationwide network that will be servicing the machines, a network that has PUDO points. And you know, my view that PUDOs and lockers work very well together. Plus, another really important thing, Hermes is a B2C carrier. So it's probably interfaced with all of the main or several important e-commerce players. So it makes it very, very easy for InPost to, without having to interface for each individual account and so on and so forth. Honestly, makes a lot of sense. I think it's going to be good news for InPost and honestly good news for Hermes as well.
And maybe even good news for British consumers. We'll see. Currently, as we said, there are 1,500 parcel lockers. I think they said in high footfall areas. Well, they're not going to say otherwise.
Well, hold on. I seem to recall, I've got a picture somewhere which I might send you, a locker that is in a dark, dingy alley. And so I'm not sure they're all, unless they've relocated them, they weren't all historically in the best possible places.
Just because it's a dark, dingy alley doesn't mean it's not high footfall, Marek.
Well, you know what? I'm not so sure.
It's not an ideal location. And of course, anybody who's been to our workshop on creating or setting up PUDO and parcel locker networks would know some of the key things to look for when setting up a locker network. Maybe we'll put a link to that down there somewhere.
That's a good idea, Mr. Kerr.
Oh, I have a good idea every now and then, Marek. It's like, well, they say a broken clock is right twice a day, unless, of course, it's a digital clock, in which case it's only right once a day. Ponder that one, everybody. So that's what's happening in the UK. Now, I have a vague memory of InPost making an announcement about France as well.
Oh, yes, they've been busy bees. They have indeed. Now, France, to be honest, this warrants a VC of its own to discuss France. But this is quite interesting. If it happens, and maybe we will do another VC and we'll talk about why I'm saying if, but this will be very interesting. So the idea is they planning to buy Mondial, which is one of the biggest PUDO networks with, I think, about 10,000 PUDOs.
Well, we did go over that in a previous episode, and I'll put a link to that down there because it's is it Mondial France or France plus? Well, I can't remember now.
I think it was mainly France, but I think they had something small in Iberia.
Iberia or Belgium or somewhere. Yeah, you might be right.
It was Iberia.
Anyway, people don't want to listen to us try to remember things. It's like listening to your grandparents. Oh, do you remember who used to live down the street? What was his name? And his son worked in trucking and they had a daughter and her name. Anyway, you know, all that sort of stuff that grandparents do. So, but is it coincidence, Marek, that all of this expansion talk from InPost has happened after the IPO? And where do you think we're leading to? Or I mean InPost. Where is InPost leading to with all of this? Is InPost saying, we've done great in Poland, now it's time to dominate Europe?
To deliver their promises in the IPO, they need to expand outside Poland because Poland is interesting. They've got a strong position. But A, you don't want all your eggs in one basket. B, you need Lebensraum. So you need to be able to grow elsewhere. Maybe that's an unfortunate phrase, but I think the UK and France are important markets. The UK, they're already there. I think they've learned a lot of lessons and they've got a strong Hermes business. France, if they do it, it's going to be incredible because La Poste is the dominant incumbent post, controlling at least 2/3, I'd say, of the market. So for all those reasons, I think that's interesting. The one to watch is Germany, because those in the know are aware that Deutsche Post has a few nice patents. And what they do is they wait for people to grow big enough to have a bit of vested money in there. And then they say, hey, bezahlen. That's my day for German words, isn't it?
Genau. So I guess one other question, though, about all this. We're talking about InPost's expansion, but a key part of InPost's success has been its partnership with Allegro in Poland, which is it a marketplace or a retailer or both?
To be honest, I think it's a marketplace that's attempted to be a retailer with mixed results in the past. Fundamentally a marketplace. So now, it's Polish eBay.
Isn't Polish eBay? So isn't Allegro going out and creating its own out-of-home network now?
Well, that's what it's claiming to do. And I think that the building blocks are in place. The key question is, will it be a small sort of pilot, oblique test center, oblique have some skin in the game set up, or will it be something that's holistic and capable of serving a significant part of their volume? So far, we don't know. We'll know in a year's time, I think.
Well, of course, at the same time, as we've mentioned previously, InPost and Amazon partnering in Poland, aren't they? Or have I read that?
No, you're right. Amazon have signed up with them, as have Alibaba. In fact, I think everybody's signed up with them.
So it's an interesting sort of situation. Now, I guess the part of the question for me would be, would InPost neglect, unwittingly, I suppose, its home market in its quest to dominate in other markets or expand into other markets? Or will it never take its eye off the ball? I'm mixing my metaphors so much today, Marek. But will it keep its eye on the ball in its own backyard as well, make sure that it continues to be a strong player in the Polish e-commerce delivery market?
My view, Ian, is that they can't afford to mess up in Poland. So they'll have to keep an eye on Poland all the time because it's their most important historic market. It's generating a lot of profit. And psychologically, if they were to fail in Poland, it wouldn't look too good elsewhere because that's the key part of the business today. And my view is probably that they're going to be hiring, with all the money they've made, they're going to be hiring super smart cookies to run operations in the UK and France without taking their eye off the ball in Poland.
Well, there's certainly plenty of noise in the UK about parcel locker networks and about growing out-of-home delivery, and all the figures are pointing to continued growth in e-commerce in the UK. And there's the added something about congestion and clean air and all those sorts of things, which is really coming to the fore in discussions about delivery of e-commerce in the UK. Marek, we could go on and on about this, but we might wrap it up here and throw it over to the viewers to say, comment below. Let us know what you think about all of this. It's a big topic. We've covered a lot in a short time.
I'll just add two things, maybe for a future discussion, because we talked about InPost. I think let's watch and see, because Quadient, who are quite a big operator, have announced that they want to enter the market. And we mustn't forget that Amazon, I believe, probably according to our latest report, we reckon they might have about 4,000 even lockers in the UK. So it's going to be very interesting. Will the UK become the next locker land?
Ooh, There's one. That should be the topic for a future video from us. Will the UK become the next locker land? Marek Różycki, thanks for being part of the Last Mile Profits today.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone.